What's up, guys? I am IDrewMan, and welcome back to my Dark Souls walkthrough part 22. In the last episode, we placed down the Lord Vessel and made our way through New Londo ruins, and our batteries died on our controller. So we got another controller, and here we are back in New Londo ruins in the, I guess, the New Londo's church thing. You want to be very careful while coming into this room because there are ghosts everywhere. Like you can see them coming out of the ground right now. My personal method of doing this is to get a weapon that's powerful enough to kill them in 1 or 2 hits, and just go into this big room you see here, kill the ghost, the one in here before it screams. The first one you see in here is the one that does not, or the one that screams. When it does that, it calls more ghosts, so you really don't want that. So you just want to sprint into the room and take that one out real quick. And also, when climbing up this ladder, you also gotta be careful of those ghosts, because every single time I've ever climbed that ladder, there's always been ghosts that have come out of nowhere and hit me while on the ladder. So just either climb the ladder with full health or kill the ghosts if you can find them. So up here, you will encounter this guy in the crimson robe. I can never remember his name. But anyways, if you have the Lord Vessel or place the Lord Vessel, he will give you the key to the seal. He will also give you the key to the seal if you kill him. But I don't recommend doing that if you have the Lord Vessel, because first of all, you can just talk to him to get him, and if you leave him alive and you talk to him, you can get him to remove a curse if you get cursed. So that's really nice. So you don't have to get a purging stone. You can just come down here and talk to him, and he will lift your curse. So that's a nice little aspect. Also, when you're up here, make sure to put on a new transient curse if you've already run out. It's very bad to run out in the middle of a fight between a ghost, because they'll go straight through your shield and you can't do anything to them, and it's very annoying. So always make sure to have at least 1 or 2 transient curses on hand. I have a whole bunch because I have a lot of humanity on me, so I was picking up a lot of transient curses from ghosts that were dropping them. Don't stand by this body too long, because if you noticed, or I didn't really show up, but there were a bunch of ghosts, like a whole bunch of ghosts nearby to ambush you if you pick that up without paying attention. So it's also really frustrating when they're in the walls. Just try to track them, or just make a random swing and hope you get them, like I did. Yeah, right here where I am, sometimes a ghost attacks downwards, like attacks through the ceiling to hurt you, so that's why you want to be careful on grabbing that item. If you run around like I just showed and go through this doorway, make sure to take out this ghost before you grab the item, so it doesn't get you. It's the Curse Bite Ring, which, if you don't know yet, it raises your curse resistance. So when fighting a certain boss that we will fight in the future, or while dealing with the frogs down the depths or the Great Hollow or wherever, you can just throw that ring on, so you are a lot less likely to get cursed. And being cursed sucks. If you don't know what being cursed is, basically it cuts your HP in half, and that's as high as it'll go until you get it lifted. So that's why you want to grab you want to grab that ring, and if you get cursed, talk to the guy in the red robes where you got the key to the seal. If you head up here, this place is optional. That item over there, I believe, is some humanity, or yeah, I think it's humanity. Yeah. So also, I noticed I show right there, you can get that item on top of the church. I'm just gonna call this a church. I'm sorry if I'm wrong, but it's a church. I'm just gonna call it that. You can jump on it right there to my left, and then go and get that item. I believe it's a rare ring of sacrifice. We got one of those in Sin's Fortress. Basically, what that does is it makes it less likely, or it has curse resistance, so it's less likely for you to get cursed. And if you die, you keep all your souls in humanity, but the ring breaks. And right there, I got the composite bow, and right there, I was just showing the Valley of the Drakes. That is where my first death in this walkthrough took place, and that just rhymes. So I'm sorry, that really just gets to me. So I also picked up the composite bow, which is a very short-range bow, but has a lot of damage. So if you have that bow and mix it with the Hawkeye ring, or the Hawk ring, I think it's what it's called. We got that in Londo by the giant blacksmith. So, or the blacksmith giant, whichever you call it. So if you put that bow on with the Hawk ring, I believe that it extends its range. So you can do some serious damage with that bow. So that's a good little combo you can think of. And if you notice right here, when I push that lever, all this water comes flooding out of New Londo ruins. But also, yep, you can see this in the little area, and right there, those drakes are fine. I was just kind of thinking about that, like, you know, all this water pours out, and the drakes are just fine. Just really. And right there, don't walk off the edge, or you could become very close to death. So that's not good. So make sure not to fall. when you come down here, you will see such a very, very pretty sight. It's just so beautiful, you know, with all these dead bodies, right? So pretty beautiful. Also, you want to be careful of this guy. These guys are called dark wraiths. They are it's hard to explain what they are exactly. They're trying to end the Age of Fire, I guess, and get the Age of Dark to come into place, I guess. They're the Knights of Dark. They want to end the Age of Fire or something like that. So if you notice all these dead bodies, there is a lot of lore behind why all these dead bodies are here and why the Dark Wraiths are here. It would take way too long for me to explain it, so just make sure to check out a lore video on that stuff if you're interested. Another thing about the Dark Wraiths, if you've noticed, I kind of like to parry people, but the Dark Wraiths, I don't think I've ever successfully parried them because, I don't know, they're just very tricky to parry. So if you like to parry like me, you want to be careful while trying to parry them. Also, there are, I believe, 3 Dark Wraiths in this one room. If you're coming the way I am, if you walk in the way I just walked in right there, what you do not want to do is just run right into the room, run into the center, and just try to attack one, because you'll be double teamed by 2 of them. So what you want to do is you want to do kind of what I did. You just kind of want to walk into the room a little bit, just kind of chill for a sec, and then one of them should come at you. If you run towards this one, you will be double teamed, so be careful of that. They're fairly easy to backstab, but they do take out a really good bit of stamina, so just be aware of that. Oh yeah, be careful of that. These guys have a really long range because they have a spear inside of them apparently. So they aren't too hard to kill. The only really issue about them, in my opinion, is they got that head. They can shoot little heads in the air that explode like that. Just make sure you're out of the range. They also have that move where they spit out the goop at you. The thing I don't like about that move is even if you block it with your shield, it still actually gets to you. Basically, it's like you're toxic and you look like a big purple blob. I didn't get hit by it, but you look like a big purple blob, and it's really weird. And I believe it has to do with the speed. It like affects the speed of your rolls or something like that, while constantly doing damage to you. It's just really frustrating. Or no, I take that back. I think it's Estus flasks. It makes so your Estus flasks heal, I believe, half as much as they typically do. So basically, just don't be involved with that goop stuff. It's not fun. So right here you can pick up some humanity. If you go through this doorway, it leads up to an area we were at earlier in Londo. I was there in the previous episode. It was where there was a ghost right around the corner, but there are many of those locations. But basically, now that you've lowered the water, there's a shortcut there. So one thing when you're here, the reason I came to New Londo Ruins first is to get a very, very important item, and I am headed there right now. So you want to come this way, and it will lead up to the Very Large Ember. The Very Large Ember allows you to upgrade your weapon from +10 to +15. You have to use Titanite chunks. This is it right here. You have to get Titanite chunks. Oh, and I was also showing the chain. Another way to tell if it's a mimic or not. The chain will be curled back a little bit for a real chest, but a mimic will have the chest or have the chain face towards you. So for all those who are having trouble with mimics, that's how to deal with them. But the Very Large Ember, as I said, it upgrades your basic weapon from +10 to +15. You have to use Titanite chunks to upgrade it from +10 through +14. To get it to +15, you have to use a Titanite slab. The way that you can get a Titanite slab, there are a few ways. One, you can kill the Stray Demon. We will kill him in one of the next episodes. You can also do Sigmayer's whole, I believe, his whole story quest thing. We've encountered him a few times in this playthrough so far, and if you do his entire quest thing, at the very end, his daughter will give you another Titanite slab. It's a very long process. He appears in many different areas, so it's a bit long. So that's another way you can get a Titanite slab. You also can get them from Dark Wraiths dropping them. If you want to have a really good chance of getting a Titanite slab, what you want to do is you want to throw on some humanity, put on the covetous gold serpent ring, grab some homeward bones, and then just come into New Londo Ruins and just go ham. So I also got some souls over here, and I got a Titanite chunk, so I can use that to upgrade my battle axe in the future. Right here, I got the cracked red eye orb. I explained that in one of the first episodes, that the cracked red eye orb allows you to invade another actual player. If you are human and if they are human, you can invade them. And I believe it's if they are 10%, if they are within your level by 10%. So if you're level 50 and they're level 55, or they're level 45, you can still invade them. So this Dark Wraith right here that I just killed, he tends to drop the Dark Hand. I don't know why he didn't this time, but typically he tends to drop it for some reason for me. So the Dark Hand is basically what the shield the Dark Wraiths have been using. If you notice, when they kind of have their hand up in an odd fashion, and they're blocking you with it, then that's the Dark Hand. You can use it to block, and you can use it right there. That's the Dark Hand. You can use it to block to block, and to steal humanity from people. And also, don't go charging to that room. Don't do what I did. That's the move where they take humanity. If you charge in the room like I did, you will encounter 2 of these guys at once, and one enough is challenging. So just be really careful of this. It can be tricky. So yeah, don't encounter 2 of these guys at once. Also, in that room where I was just in when I saw these guys, there is another purple goop guy, as I was talking about earlier, the one that shoots those exploding heads into the air, and I just missed, and and he also can shoot the purple goop stuff that I was talking about. See, there's Titanite chunks you can get from these guys. But when you go in there to fight him, if you notice, I put on a transient curse. The reason I did that is because there were some nearby ghosts down here. I actually killed them at the very beginning of this episode when I ran into the church room, and I killed the screaming ghost. That actually is where a bunch of the ghosts down here will actually go to. They'll actually go up there and attack you up there. But typically, I die between there and where I am now, so they didn't actually come and attack me. So when you come down here, make sure to throw on a transient curse, because most likely the ghosts will come in this room and attack you with the Dark Rays and this guy if you're not careful. I also forgot to mention that these purple guys, they do not respawn, so make sure to kill them if you want a easy way through New Londo ruins. And they also give you 5,000 souls. So that's always a plus. But the Dark Raids and the ghosts do respawn, so that's kind of a shame. Over here you can summon a witch, I believe Witch Beatrice, the same one you summon for the Moonlight Butterfly, to help you with the Four Kings boss fight. But I personally don't recommend that, because when you summon an NPC or other players to help you with the boss actually gets more HP. And this doorway leads to the Four Kings, but I will not be fighting them yet because I need a special item. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. This has been an IDrewMan production, and I will see y'all next time.